That's why we're divided too.
Okay. Well, she's the
Just give me 1 second to get this situated. Now we're gonna figure it out. What Mike said?
So Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca gotta get up here. What?
They're gonna have to speak from down there.
No, they gonna come up
one at a time.
So the first people coming up.
Oh, he said they gotta put their mics up here though for them to be able to hear.
Okay, have everybody step back. Everybody step back. Who got the microphone? Who got the microphone?
Right here.
Everybody, please step back so the audio from the news cameras can at least make sure they pick it up. Everybody take 5 steps back if you can. 5 steps back.
My son is right here.
Okay. All right. So.
Where's Monique? Okay, good. So they're bringing a mic stand? They want to bring their microphones.
All right, Prince, bring your mic and stands up. Everybody take 5 more steps back if you can. If you want to. No, we trying to get everybody out here to make the crowd look better. Jacob, y'all come out here. We trying to make sure people can see the crowd.
You're not at all.
Hey, Tiffany, y'all go over that way there. We gonna keep them up because we're trying to have people focused on this here.
Right,
So,
she said she didn't want to get up there.
oh, you don't want to get up there, Antoine?
I can get up,
Okay,
but
if you
I don't know if I can climb up.
Okay, no, we got a step ladder. Matter of fact, we're gonna put a step ladder on this side. Hey, Kiray, y'all move over there a little bit, but have them move down. Everybody, no, us. Let's move down. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. Let's move down. We want to keep this open. Here, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Move down that way. That step ladder. Hey, Trey. Let's have the step ladder right here. Let's have the step ladder right here. All right. Where'd you like it? In the back because we want y'all catching the crowd. Everybody's gonna be talking from up here, so y'all should be able to up there. Yeah.
Well, then let's get this closer and up. Okay.
So everybody gonna be up here. Everybody's gonna be up there. Yeah, you can take it all the way up.
Same bag.
I'm good, Queen. Thank you. So yeah, we got. Hey, do we have room for me and her daughter and them? We got daughter and aunt coming up.
And I can sit down like.
Okay. She don't want to be up there. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Okay. It probably is. Hold this for me, Trey. Y'all come up here. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a hand.
Take your time. Hey, somebody needs to
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Give me a hand.
Now I'm gonna get down.
Don't worry, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, you can step on top of that.
Trey, you got him?
Yeah. Ben, trying to do too much.
I'm trying to do too much.
He told me right off, we don't want to do that on camera.
All right.
All right.
Down for now. Down. Okay. Y'all ready? Do me a favor, Woo. Just hold this behind my head. Okay. All right. Well, they just. with 5 daylight crews. We got one right there. Okay. Okay. Monique, y'all ready? Who is this? Okay, I'm going for it. Okay. Here we go.
Yo, whose is this?
Okay. Y'all ready? Here we go. Baytown. 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 We ready to get justice today for Pam Turner? Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Pam Turner life matters, and black women life matters. I'm Attorney Ben Crump with Attorney Devin Jacob, Attorney Lee Merritt, Attorney Darrell Washington. We have the honor of representing the family of Pam Turner. To my right, to my left, we have Chelsea, her legacy, her daughter. Y'all, let her know her mother life matters. Pam Turner 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 life matters. And to my immediate left, we have her sister, Antoinette James, somebody who every interview she's ever given about Pam Turner, she breaks down because she said, if you knew Pam Turner, your heart would burst every time you thought she was taken away from us 2 years ago. And before I get into that, I want you all to show her some love. Let Antoinette know that her sister life matters. Pam Turner life matters. Pam Turner life matters. Pam Turner life matters. Black women lives matter. Black women lives matter. Black women lives matter. And before we go any further, I want to thank some people who did not think it robbery to take time out of their schedules and their busy lives to fly into Houston, Texas, and join Houston's native Trader Truth, the iconic rapper who's always standing up for our people. He is joined by Tamika Mallory and my son, the General, from Until Freedom. Also, we have the Houston chapter of the NAACP, led by Bishop James Dixon. And we got the iconic rapper Houston's own. Where he at? Bun B. I'm gonna let him do it. I want to, before we kick it off, I want you all to understand, 2 years ago, Pam Turner was disrespected in a way that no human being should be disrespected. You know, Malcolm X said that the most disrespected, the most unprotected, and the most neglected person in America is the black woman. Well, today we will not let them disrespect Pam Turner. We will not let them neglect Pam Turner. We will not let them sweep Pam Turner life under the rug. Because we know Officer Daylight Cruz, who Monique is still employed by the Baytown Police Department, completely disrespected Pam Turner when he confronted her assaulted her and battered her and tased her to the ground when all she was trying to do, as you watch that video, is go home. She said over and over again, "Why are you bothering me?" Attorney Devin Jacobs, we have evidence that they served her with an eviction notice just 4 hours before he accosted her. For this black woman who was having a mental health crisis. And the insult gets worse. It gets so much worse. Because when he tased her to the ground, and she did what any one of you would have done who's getting tased, you would try to stop the tase. So she grabbed the tase. And when she grabbed the taser, that coward, and yes, I call him a coward. He is a coward. While that black woman was lying on her back, and Trey, he knew that Pam Turner was unarmed. On his feet, he could have did any number of things. Tamika, he could have given verbal commands. He could have created distance. He could have called for backup. He could have got behind the car. But what did that coward do? He took his gun out and shot at her 5 times while she was on the ground saying, "I'm pregnant." Obviously, he had no consideration for her life or any possible life that could have been inside that black woman, because he shot her in her face, in her breasts, and in her stomach like a dog on the street. You wouldn't treat a dog that bad, Daylight Cruz. So why do you think we're going to let you get away with treating our black women like that? And the insult, Bishop Dixon, is the fact that the Baytown Police Department, even though you see this video, still have him employed as a police officer, even though he's been charged for killing Pamela Turner. On May 20th, everybody to join Tamika and Monique and my side on Justice Watch. Just like we were watching in the George Floyd trial, we need to be watching at the Harris County Courthouse every day of the week to make sure that we get justice for this black woman. But really, y'all, this is about black women, and even though we got these strong black men standing in support of our black women, this effort is and will continue to be led by our black queens. So I want to bring up 2 of the most dynamic, the most beautiful, the most articulate, and the most brilliant black queens anywhere in America. We have Monique Presley from Washington, Tamika Mallory from New York City, and from Until Freedom. Y'all give them we can stay down, y'all. Okay, don't hold the phone.
Hey, Baytown. It's good to see you here. Thank you for coming out. How many of you people know we have the power? You know, we fight the powers, but we have the power. So everywhere I go here, I'm reminding myself, as I remind you, we have the power. When we do what we're doing today, we can't be stopped. When we come together in unity, we will not be stopped. How many people know knowledge is power? You know, as terrible as what happened to Pam Turner right back there across the street is, you know she's not the first black woman to die at the hands of law enforcement, right? You know, we don't even really know the full number of how many black women have died at the hands of law enforcement because they don't even bother to count us. So the Washington Post in 2015 started doing a count, y'all. They started trying to figure out why, if black people were only 13% of the population, 20% of the women being killed were black. So they found out from 2015 to now, 51 of our queens have been killed by the police. Now, we don't hear about this, right, because we know that more of our brothers are being killed by police, being shot, being tased, being arrested falsely than women. Only 4% of us are being killed. But you know what, y'all? 20% of them are black. 4% of women are being killed by police. 20% of them are black. Who knows that ain't right? What is it about our bodies that's so threatening that the only thing they can do is kill us? What are they afraid of that when we get the power, this entire system will be turned not upside down, but right side up? They know that black women have been the backbone of this country since the first ship came over onto this crowd. So we're under attack. And it has to stop. Not just a Tatiana Jefferson, not just Breonna, not just Pam. It goes back to the 20s and 30s, y'all. Police stopping us, sexually assaulting us. It goes back to when they couldn't find our men, so they hung us instead. It goes back to when we were on the streets being trafficked, and they found out that we were being trafficked by the police. We're stopped more than white women. When they see us, they tested the police and found out when they look at me, they see me as a criminal. More readily than they see their delicate white flowers. But white people commit more crimes. Now, these are the facts. We got to put some truth and some power on these facts so the people where I come from in Washington, D.C., and the Power Center for Finance where Tamika comes from, all the way over to all the uttermost parts of the land know that we are not going to stand for this anymore. It has to stop at some point, and I say that point is now. Do you say it's now? Somebody say it stops now. Now, I founded an organization called In Defense of Black Women and Girls because I know that if nobody else protects us, we got to protect ourselves. So they're going to see me until they get tired of seeing me. And it's my privilege right now to turn the mic over to someone who really needs no introduction. She's my baddest sister, just bad, bad, bad to the bone. But you know what? The reason why she's so bad is because she's committed. She don't take no stuff either. She stands in the face of law enforcement, of threats, of misunderstanding, of persecution, and she still fights for us. So I'm going to give her flowers while I can. Thank you, Tamika D. Mallory, for all that you do. Somebody say thank you, Tamika. Okay. Thank you, Until Freedom. It's my pleasure to give you Tamika D. Mallory.
Thank you so much. Let's give Monique Presley, attorney Monique Presley, a round of applause. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. Yeah. So one of the things that I learned early in life is that after someone has blessed the mic, you don't go and try to repeat everything that they already said. And so I won't stand here before you long attempting to repeat the awesome words and the knowledge that was dropped on us by Attorney Presley. The one thing I know about this sister is that every time I hear her open her mouth, I get educated. I don't know if y'all listen to her on Roland Martin Unfiltered, on Fox News Channel, on every outlet, everywhere, and on her own lives that she does, but she is constantly educating black people. people, and I appreciate the fact that she shows up in places and spaces that are hard, they're tough, and seeks to represent us as black people. And certainly my other sister, this is my fighting queen. We in the trenches, we in the hood fighting. We outside ready to go and do whatever needs to be done. And that's my sister Teslyn Figueroa. She is a fighting sister. Straight shot, no chaser. And here we are. You know, we're beyond the point of being politically correct. We passed that point. That's over. At least it's for me, it's over. I am not of the turn the other cheek generation. I'm really not. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And I know I need to grow up, Ben. I know I need to work on myself. I need to get therapy and all of those things. I understand that. Trust me. But I also have decided that I'm prepared to give my life for what I believe in. And sometimes that might not look too nice and clean to some folks, right? Because we're ready to step up and speak up. And right now, we're in a moment where truth is all that matters. Telling the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may make you, no matter how much people may castigate you, you might be marginalized. Folks don't like us much, do they, Teslyn? They don't like us. They don't like you much, do they? They don't like us much, and that's okay. That's all right. All right. That's what matters, is that our people love us. And from New York City all the way to Baytown, Texas, we came to say that black women matter and that we will fight until we die on behalf of black women. If not us, who? Who else will stand up for us if we don't stand up for us? And because people don't necessarily like us, and because we're always running our mouths, we ruffle flat feathers. We do it all the time. And we're prepared to stand up to our own, people who look like us, who are in positions of power, and they are sometimes the biggest obstacles to us getting what it is that we need. And so we will call them out, and we will, of course, make sure ain't no white man, no white woman going to step to us in our communities and tell us a damn thing about who we are and how we should fight for our people. That's where we stand. So I'm happy to be here in Baytown today. I traveled here in the middle of a virtual book tour that has me sitting in front of a computer all day long for my new book that was released just 2 days ago called State of Emergency. But regardless, I got on the flight to come and stand with Chelsea and Pam Turner's family, because this matters. Just like we stood in Louisville, Kentucky with Breonna Taylor's family and Bianca Austin, her aunt, who has been fighting for her when nobody would say Breonna Taylor's name. It's here. We know if they are here, we must be here. If Chelsea has to be here, I have to be here. If I have to be here, you have to be here. Because that's what this fight is all about. If not us, who? And if not now, when? It is our responsibility to stand up for our own people, and that's what we intend to do. Is that right, y'all? All right, that's good. That's good. May 25th, we will be again standing with this family, because there is a court date that will be happening. We can listen. When the police kill us, they show up for their officers regardless of whether they are right or wrong. They stand up for theirs. They show up for their colleagues. They are present, and they fight for their own. They don't care about whether or not, well, our communities aren't a monolith. You know, I don't know. I need to see the facts. Where's the rest of the video? Well, I heard that he was down there messing with them drugs. She had a man, and that man she had, he wasn't too good. That's what we do to our own people. But when it's time to fight for police, they stand up for their own regardless of the story. They don't care about their records. They don't care about their past, because they recognize that they are protecting the blue. That's what they're there for. And we ought to be protecting the black. We ought to be protecting the black. So they stand for theirs, and we stand for ours, and we will continue to do that. I want Bianca Austin, a woman who unfortunately has had to be out here on the front line. When I first heard about Breonna Taylor, The second thing, it was two things that I heard. The first was her mother, her name is Tamika. And I said, wow, how she spell it? Because that's what Tamikas do. We want to know how you spell. You remember I asked, how does she spell it? And they said she spells it Tamika. That's how I spell mine. I said, okay, I'm on my way. I'm almost there. Me and her, we together. And now Tamika Palmer and I are good sisters. That's my girl. We talked on the way here. Now we've transcended from just talking about Breonna Taylor to dealing with how we stand for justice for other families and other people. And again, that's my family. Let's give Tamika Palmer and the family of Breonna Taylor a hand. Let's do that. But the second thing I heard it from Ben Crump. I heard it from attorney Lanita Baker, who is also a fighting sister, an attorney in Louisville, Kentucky, that people need to know. She should be, just like Ben, probably Attorney General of this country at one point. Ben Crump is already the black Attorney General. We're working on making him everybody's Attorney General. Yeah, okay. We're working on that. But the second thing that everyone said is that Breonna Taylor has an aunt who created all of the material that folks were beginning to see, and that she had been fighting in the trenches for her niece and standing oftentimes alone. And there are a lot of people who want to claim that they were the ones that gave Breonna Taylor the type of spotlight that she needs. But the truth of the matter is that outside of a few organizations on the ground there in Louisville, it was because of Bianca Austin's work that Breonna Taylor's name is all over the world. And Until Freedom came in and supported Bianca's work, and we respect that and know. So every time they try to say, well, why did Until Freedom go to Louisville? We ain't need you to come here. Bianca Austin said, excuse me, yes, we did. We absolutely needed it because we needed to make sure internationally that Breonna Taylor was known. So come on up. That's right. We have to make sure that we tell our own people the history so that you all can go and spread it as well. So let's hear from Bianca Austin, the aunt of Breonna Taylor. She said her name has now changed to Bree Taylor. Bree Taylor. It's Breeway for me. Bianca.
Rename me Bianca. Peace and love, everybody, this afternoon. I told you I don't like to speak behind, our powerful, beautiful black women. It kind of makes me a little nervous. But as y'all know, Breonna Taylor was my beloved niece. I miss her so much. She was murdered by the hands of Louisville Metro Police Department March 13th in her own home. Was shot 5-6 times. A beautiful soul. So it's very important for me that I come and stand with Pamela Turner's family. Just genuinely, my heart breaks for you all. I just want to remind y'all, this moving forward, embrace this support. It's going to be days where you're weary. It's going to be days where you don't know who to trust. It's going to be days where you feel like giving up. But just don't. Take your time, breathe. Don't continue to stand up for your mama. Get justice for your mama. Right. And if you need anything, your support is here. Tamika Mel, you got a good support system. You know what I mean? And it's sad because apparently Louisville is not the only one with a corrupt police department. It's unfortunate that we got to come to Baytown, Texas, and stand and demand that Officer Dela Cruz be fired. Number one, let's get him out of office. Fire Cruz.
Fire Dela Cruz. Fire Dela Cruz. Fire Dela Cruz.
And then after we fire Dela Cruz, we want to convict Dela Cruz. We need a conviction.
Yeah. Convict
Dela Cruz. Convict Dela Cruz. And then after we convict him, he needs to spend 44 years in prison for the murder of Pamela Turner. The 44 years when she could have had life to live, more life to live. But Dela Cruz, he made a choice. He made a choice to pursue this woman because he knew he lived in this neighborhood. He patrolled this neighborhood. He knew this woman. He knew that she had a mental illness. He chose to take this woman's life. This was a choice for him. So we need to put 9 minutes and 29 seconds on their neck and make them fire and convict this man for killing Pamela Turner. And I don't like to speak about the past, y'all. Just moving forward as a community, if you don't want to support a black woman, don't pick a tragedy then. Pick a tragedy for me, because our humanity is deteriorating in front of our eyes, and we need to stand together, you all. It's very important in this moment in America that we have to stand together. If you don't want to support Pamela Turner, support Breonna Taylor. If you don't want to support Breonna Taylor, support Tatiana Jefferson. If you don't want to support Tatiana Jefferson, support Sandra Bland's family. Support Makaya Bryant family. But what we can't sit around and do, but when we can't continue to sit around. We got to stand up for one another. And if you're running out of trash, just pick one. Stand up for a black man, because guess what? They still getting lynched daily. So, and if they keep lynching us, who's supposed to protect the black woman? So, my heart goes out to you all. If you ever need anything, you all, like, we here to support y'all. Yeah. Black Lives Matter. Just do it one more time for me. Bring what?
Can we give it up for Bianca? We gave her a whole new name. Can you just imagine the courage that it takes, the fortitude that it takes to be in your own grief but still take the time to come and support another family? Can y'all just give it up for her, please? Speaking of families that are here attending, you've met the family of Pamela Turner. You've met a family member for Breonna Taylor. We have the family of Tatiana Jefferson here. We have a family member of Sandra Bland here. We have a family member for Robbie Tolan here. We have family members for Joshua Feast here. We have family members for George Floyd here, and family members for Jacob Blake Jr. And yes, some of the family members that are here, it was black men who we lost. You know what? They left daughters. And they left grieving mothers. So when the system comes and incarcerates our men, it leaves women to do the job of men and women. And that's genocide, isn't that, Attorney Crump? Legalized genocide. And so when they're not putting them in jail, they're putting them in the ground. And we have families here who have experienced that, and we want to bring to you. Who's next, Attorney Crump? We're okay. We are going to have Mr. Blake on behalf of the Blake family, who came out of the hospital to be with us here today. Y'all give him a big hand.
We love you, baby. We love you. We here to support Pamela Turner, I'm sorry. There's a lot of names. They running together in my head. That's a damn shame. That's a shame that not enough of us will stand up for these women when we see them in need, my brothers. We must protect our queens with your life. If I have to die fighting for this movement, I will die. I will not stop. How you can sign an executive order to protect the innocent people? Stop the bullshit. Put your ass in office. Now I expect that I'm out of hospital now. repeat what they said. They need to be held accountable. Everyone that says they're trying to do something for one of us needs to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable from D.C. to Bay City to Louisville, Kentucky to Chicago, Illinois. And we're not going to stop. I swear we're not going to stop. I promise y'all, I got up off a sick bed, got on a plane. What's not right is not right. And enough is enough. And I'm so tired of it, I can sleep standing up. It's too much. I love all of y'all. I don't know half of y'all, but I love all of y'all. And if we don't understand the importance of love and unity, we must unite. We fear nothing. Unite. The families have united. I saw Thelonious running around here with a bag of skins. I don't know where. I love this cat, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Ben and all the people that are doing things become active. That's all I'm asking y'all. I love y'all. And I'll come anytime we need it. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, brother.
And PJ too.
Okay.
PJ.
Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, before we get to the Floyd family, ask Ashley Carr to come up and get her up here and get ready to speak. Then we will have Monique will come back and introduce the Floyd family. Let's just make some noise out here real quick. Let's make some noise out here real quick. Get some energy. The people got to know we're here. We're here. Let me see. Let me rile y'all up a little bit. Let me do a little bit. Let me see what I can get out of this. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? All right. The next person we're going to hear from is my sister. Before we hear from Tatiana Jefferson's family, I want to make sure I have to run to the airport. The whole Until Freedom family, we have to move on to another city. Chair of Until Freedom is here with us, Angelo Pinto. Let's give him some love. He's so quiet. He's often, he may be in the car, but he's so quiet that oftentimes people forget that he's around, but he's a powerhouse and handles all the policy for Until Freedom. But my sister, I had to be here to hear from her because we fight all the time, everybody. We in the comments fighting on behalf of Ben Crump. If you say something about Ben Crump, baby, you messing with the wrong one. Because we get in the comments and we go off on people. When people say he loses all his cases, that's a lie. He's not lost the case. He's not the district attorney, and you need to know your facts before you speak on the name of another black man. Put some respect on Ben Crump's name. Put some respect on Roland Martin's name. Put some respect on my son Lennon's name, and Trey the Truth and other men who are out here standing next to black women. Let's put some respect on their names. So we're going to hear from Teslyn Figueroa, who is, listen here, if you don't know Teslyn, you need to because she definitely brings it straight to your neck. She's not afraid of anything or anyone, and she's out here telling the truth that people don't like to hear. She even tells me the truth in my text messages 3 or 4 times a day, and she damn sure tells Ben Crump the truth. She fight for you and with you, if necessary. Let's have our sister come up. She's a political strategist and one of the most brilliant minds of our time. Teslyn Figueroa. Come on, sis.
My sister, where's the bishop? Start the intercessory prayer. You and Ben, they say when two join,
maybe we can make something happen, because I'm going to tell the truth. I brought my platform tennis shoes to step on the toes after Mr. Blake just got up and said a little something. I want to back him up in what he talked about. Shout out, number one, to Next Generation Action Network in the building from Dallas, Texas, who stood for the young sister that was held down in McKinney, Texas years ago at the pool party. That's how we met. He's been standing and rocking Dominique for black women without worrying about his name and lights, just there, a frontline soldier. I want to talk to you just a minute, if you don't mind, about the fruit. Earlier this week, my sister Monique laid out the facts for you. My sister Tamika laid out the activism side. So if you don't mind, if I can take a moment just to talk about the policy just for a second. There's a policy, a law, a bill trying to be passed right now called the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And what I'm about to say don't have nothing to do with no personalities and who like who and who went to school with who and who's frat and whose brother. This is about the people. And earlier this week, there was a conversation about removing qualified immunity. Now, this is after a year of telling us that qualified immunity was the most important part of the bill. It's kind of like when a waitress comes to the table and they say, we're going to give you chicken and coleslaw and mashed potatoes, and the most important is the chicken, and then you get to the table and you say, don't worry about the chicken, focus on the coleslaw. We call that switching up the game, Bumby. In the middle of the game, with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. I guess that's why they call me straight shot, no chaser. Our elected official, who I know y'all love, Representative Clyburn. See, I got to call out the names. I'm from a place where you call out the names. I don't like talking in circles because I don't want you to get confused on who we're talking about. So earlier this week, and we appreciate the OG, we appreciate everything he did, but he came out on TV and involuntary. Didn't nobody ask you nothing, not even in the Senate. Came out and talked about how policing was about bad apples and good apples. So I wanted to just explain to you with the fruit. It was so much talk about apples and bread. I thought Attorney Crump Day was a part of the black farmers lawsuit that you did. It's too bad. I didn't know Jim Clyburn was a farmer. He switched it up, but I want to drop a couple of metaphors because we got rappers on our side too, don't we, my son? We do metaphors for real, Jim. So when you talk about the bad apples and the good apples, and policing is not about qualified immunity, it's about picking up the apples and separating the apples. I want our leaders to know that this is not about good fruit that's gone bad, it's about the tree. I need somebody to talk to me about the tree. And when you talk about the tree, they say that the tree produces what? You can tell by the fruit that it bears. And so if you say that it's about a bad apple, then I got to ask somebody, well, what about the tree? What about the tree that was planted in the soil? I need Jim to know that it's about the tree and not about the apples. I need him to know that not only are you running cover and offense, but you're fertilizing that thing and you're enabling that bullshit. And I need y'all to put that bishop, start praying right now, because you know I switched from cussing and scriptures. You got to keep up with me. If I was, maybe I didn't know country boys up here know nothing about no farming. When you plant the tree in the bad soil that my ancestors, by the way, planted, we need reparations. You planted it in rotten foundation, which is called systematic racism. It grew a tree that enabled it to bear the bad fruit. It pretended like it was good, but then you know you go to the store system and you get the good apple, and then you split it down the middle and you find out it ain't about nothing. You know how you pick that man out and he looking good, and then when they get home, I'm sorry, I don't want to go there this evening. It's about the tree and the fruit that it bears. And so we cannot afford our leaders to run around and switch up the narrative. We cannot afford President Joe Biden that said he want to heal the country. Y'all remember when he said that? He said every 5 minutes I look Gianna in her
to look her in the eyes again and do exactly what you said you're going to do. Because if you want to heal this nation, you can't heal it without uprooting the tree. Anybody can throw away a good or a bad apple, but you got to get to the bottom of the tree. And then after Tamika and I went on BNC, shout out to Black News Channel. I'm a commentator for Black News Channel. After we checked you, I guess he didn't hear the message. He came out and he doubled down, Tamika. And then he started talking about the bread and how it's better to have half a loaf of bread than not all the bread. So I got to talk about the bread before I sit down. Because we do metaphors up here too. Maybe y'all grew up with a lot of money. I didn't. I had to eat the two end corners of the bread. Do y'all remember that? Can anybody witness? We couldn't afford, Bishop, to throw away no bread. Even the end corners, we had to eat the end corners of the bread. Well, maybe y'all did. My mama was a single mama. She wasn't on food stamps, and so we really had to buy groceries. So when it got down to the two end corners of the bread, I had to figure out how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with one slice and fold it up in the middle. I'm sorry, y'all too bougie. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Bread to the hood. I'm about to start wrapping up in a minute. I've got the energy of one beat behind me. I'm about to start dropping lyrics. So when he started saying half a loaf is better than no loaf, I need y'all to tell our leaders we want all the bread. We are tired of dealing in crumbs. Crumbs ain't enough. Crumbs ain't enough. We need all the bread, including the two ends. And I'm going to get biblical on you. In fact, Bishop, we want 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And a pepper. Can somebody say in a pepper? Y'all from Houston, Texas, y'all know what a pepper is? 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. We want the whole bread. That means all of justice for Pam Turner. That means all the bread, meaning we need the money for the reparations. We want all the bread for the Justice and Policing Act in the name of George Floyd. I mean all the policy. Attorney Crump, tell him it's above you now. You did what you could do to try to calm me down, but it's above you now. You done did where it's above you now. We have to continue to put pressures on our leaders out of love. And if you are standing for a leader opposed to standing for your people, then you're not for your people. Because, see, they're going to be all right. They got money. They got influence. They got everything they need. This ain't about Democrat or Republican. This is about the people. And at the end of the day, if you got love for black people, then we must demand policy. We must demand continue with the protests. We must demand the paper. We must continue to punish and expect people to be not only fire De La Cruz, but somebody got to charge them too. And then somebody got to convict them. And then they got to go do all the time, not just on manslaughter. I want all the time like you do with our brothers. My sister said that we need accomplices, and that's why we got different people in this game that do different stuff. And my sisters talked about on the Grammy stage, we need accomplices. And I want to go further and say I'm looking for soldiers. Like Gideon's army, we only need 300. 3 million, y'all come follow my sister Tamika Mallory. Until Freedom's job is to organize the masses. I only want about 300 of y'all though. Because an accomplice still can get out of it, where I'm from. Y'all can still snitch on me, can't they, Dominique? They can pretend like they was there, but then when we get in that room, they switch it up. But see, a soldier, like I was trained in the Air Force M60 gun, I know a little bit something about soldiering. A soldier got our fingerprints on the gun. That means ain't no switching it up when they put me and Tamika in the back. She was shooting just like I was shooting. It wasn't just no highlight. It ain't good enough. And we need accomplices for those of you that are a little too scared to get on the front line outside. But then we need some soldiers, like Mr. Blake, that's willing to get up here and call out these names, that's ready to put in work, that's ready to do what we need to do to move justice until freedom.
Tesla and Figaro, give us some love. Y'all can do better than that. Give us some love. So I've got to go to the airport, but there are 2 vehicles that are blocking us over on this side. There's a white vehicle, I think a Honda, and what's the other vehicle? A Cruise. Could you please move your vehicle so we can get out? Right, and then also we want to make sure that we acknowledge drones for a year. In Louisville, Kentucky, drones over your house is a normal thing that happens, and I've actually become acquainted with several people that are doing, oh, that's Roland's drone. I thought so at first, but they say there's another. Roland, how many drones you got out here, Roland? You got one. So right. So there's two out here, which means that we're being watched. And I think that folks should know, yeah, and whenever we wave at them, because sometimes the drones get so close to us, like they actually come and get there's footage of it, video of it, where people have actually watched take place. It's harassment, it's a form of surveillance, and it is for surveillance. And what we do is we wave at them, and usually when we wave, they jump, they get back, because they like, oh shoot, you see me. Yeah, we see you. But the last thing I want to do before leaving and bringing up Ashley Carr, the sister of is to say that there are many from Houston, from Texas, and we want to make sure to acknowledge all of you and to tell you that we see you, we love you, we appreciate you, and we stand with you. What's the name of your organization? Proud, Black, and Problematic. What's your name? Alvina Chambliss. Okay, Alvina Chambliss. She's here. Let's give her some love. Already, who has been mentioned is Next Generation Action Network. I think National Action Network wanted to be out here to support. Are there others? Okay, and Monique will mention others. If you are a local organizer, raise your hand. Let's make sure we give you some love. Let's give them some love, y'all. We'll have Ashley Carr with the family, the sister of Tatiana Jefferson, and we are standing with Tatiana's family. They have a trial as well that will be, well, what's the dates? We don't have anything. We're waiting for a trial. Sorry. We're waiting. Right. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you. We're waiting to hear when there will be a trial for the officer who killed Tatiana, and I want to make sure that we keep these families in our prayers and make sure that we're standing with them, because just when the news cameras leave does not mean that they're not still dealing with the pain and the organizing of keeping their family loved one alive. So thank you very much. Oh, okay.
I'm stepping outside the program for a second because Until Freedom is about to leave, and Tamika just asked that we pray for families, but I want us to do a quick prayer for them because they're on the front line every day and they have danger seen and unseen, and when drones are coming and looking at my sister, that means we need to cover them in prayer wherever they go, right? So we're just going to put some hands toward them real quick. Yeah, I get real preachy. Sometimes, everybody in here, come on, if you know anything about Jesus, we're going to pray now. God, touch my sister Tamika Mallory, the work that she does, the partners she does it with. Keep her safe, God, wherever she goes. Keep her partners, my son, Linda, everybody, safe, God. Give them traveling mercies, God. Go before them and surround them, God, and allow them to continue to be successful, God, in the face of the haters. Allow the table to be made in the presence of the enemies, God. Allow them to continue to rise and to bless and to serve and to minister and to thrive. I don't need to pray no more. Kind of done in Jesus' name. Amen. Now we have Ashley. Give her a hand, y'all.
Hey, everyone. I just want to say thank you guys for inviting us to be a part of this rally, Ben Crump United Until Freedom. All you guys, we really appreciate it. For you guys who don't know, October 12, 2019, my sister was at home with my then 8-year-old nephew playing video games. The neighbor called because both of her doors was open. We do that all the time. You know, we're from Texas. You know, we let the cool breeze come in and stuff like that. He did not announce himself. He passed up 2 doors of my mother's home and then forced himself into my mother's backyard. when you force yourself into that gate, it's kind of heavy to pick up type situation. So it's right there next to my sister's window. And so by the time he got in, he said, put your hands up. And in that same breath, he shot and killed my sister right in front of my 8-year-old nephew. These are things that we're currently dealing with. We got an indictment December 19th, 2020. So that's a positive, right? Right, 19. So, but ever since the pandemic, we haven't been able to do anything. We ain't been able to move. We don't even have a trial date. They're telling, and the officer is currently free, living with his family, having holidays with his family and things of that nature. And we over here broken. We over here trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure out and try to fight for justice. So, and we were told that they wanted to calm down. They told us that, they want to, make the noise go down. So every stage that I or my sister or my brother has the opportunity to get on, we ain't going to be quiet. That is not our option. That is not an option for us. So while we wait, we're going to stand with Pamela Turner's family. We're going to stand with Breonna Taylor's family. We're going to stand with any family who is going with this, because this mess is hard, y'all. It is not easy. It's plenty of days that we sit up and we cry. But all those tears that we know we're having to come down, they're for a purpose. And the purpose of this is we're going to get justice for my sister by any means necessary. Thank you, guys. What city my sister died in? My sister was killed in Fort Worth, Texas. So, that's family. I've been in Houston since I was 18. I graduated from Texas Southern University. I've been a teacher. I taught at Yates. I taught at Wheatley. I taught at Sam Houston High School. So I'm all about Houston. So the same way y'all pulled up for Pamela Turner, all I think I'll say, pull up for Tate. Pull up for Tate. Thank you.
Say his name is George Floyd. Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Say her name! Say her name! Say her name! What's up? I'm Silky Slim from Stop the Killing Inc. And, I heard a lot of different organizations named, and I heard a lot of things, but let me tell you this. If it wasn't for a little bitty black man out of Georgia that gave us the balls to be black, named Elijah Muhammad, we represent the Nation of Islam. And Farrakhan is the strongest black man on the nation. So let me tell you this. Don't get upset when you see what's happening with Brother Cruz and all of them. See, a lot, all the way from the beginning, the Ku Klux Klan has always infiltrated law enforcement. You talk about the justice system. The criminal justice system is a system that has been appropriately named. A justice system that's being ran by a bunch of damn criminals and their time is up. So when you see the movement like you see strongly, and you see us standing and fighting for what's right, damn it, you got to get out and make sure that you don't bend ever. I have no problems with my brothers in the hood. They are, what about the drive-by shooters? I could go talk to them. It's these damn drive-by politicians and these pimps in the pulpit that I have a problem with. See, there should be a lot of preachers out here. See, the thing about what's going on today is that everybody wants to crown the cross. Everybody is good at quoting scriptures. I could do all things. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, how come you're not doing a damn thing to call him on Christ? How come you ain't doing nothing but asking for something? See, it's all about the struggle. No justice! No justice! Black lives matter! But now it doesn't matter to black people. And once we put that spirit in us, then we won't allow nobody to people walk over us. See, we're so disconnected from each other. If I walk on Felonious feet, his feet don't say ouch, don't hurt. His mouth do. Why? He's connected to that nervous system. We have to become back connected, see each other as brothers, and that's the only way we're going to get the respect that we're looking for. Y'all need to remember that. Come to Baytown. We not far from here. People all around here make sure that she get noticed because people are sleeping on her case. We gotta wake up. We gotta get out. We gotta make sure we vote. We got to make sure we vote from the beyond and the little. I'm talking about council. I'm talking about the mayor. Not just the presidential, but I tell you this right here. I ain't come down here just to be talking to y'all. I come down here to start a movement because this is not a moment. We're in this together. I see Black Voters Matter. I see Roland Martin. I see Equal Justice now. Trader Truth stepped in here. Tamika Mallory and my son, they all came to battle. So I tell you this. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of the same thing happening. This is a never-ending cycle, and we all have to get out and march. And we got to get out and be steppers every day. Because if we don't, they're going to sweep it under the rug, just like they're doing in Minnesota. Just like they're doing in Baytown. Just like they're doing in Houston and every other place that we live in. Truck driver. I never thought that I'd lose my brother like this. But I tell you what, it couldn't have came at a time that we needed to be together, and everybody has gotten behind my brother and stood tall. Justice for my brother means justice for all. But at the same time, ones who are electing these people in office that's helping people commit these crimes. Time and time again, I have to get out and I have to speak. My brothers are with me. My attorneys are with me. And I come down here today to tell you that Pamela Turner, her life mattered. He shot her 5 times for nothing. The things he did, I wouldn't do that to a dog. I'm trying not to choke up. Stop, man. I seen Pamela Turner's daughter yesterday for her birthday, and she had a smile on her face. It made me feel good because the love that I have for my brother is my brother. But the love that a mother has for a child is entirely different. Just like everybody felt the pain when my brother screamed for his mom, the same issue when Pamela Turner all out, she was pregnant. Why are you doing this to me? And he still has his job. We're not out here for anything. We're out here to stop police brutality. And until then, we will keep marching. We will keep our boots on the ground. It's a time for change, and that time is now. We will be able to breathe. It's a blessing just to be here.
We're going to bring up another family, and I also, if someone just can't see Diana, I got these pesky facts that I give y'all in between. Mental health awareness. One of Black women who have been victimized and killed by police is that they are often in the midst of a crisis where should have responded batons and wellness visits. And why that matters is because we control who's in those positions with our vote. So I'm going to right now have my family, my adopted family now. This is the Joshua Feast family, his mother, Lakeisha Feast. Now, you all ought to know who Joshua Feast is. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Joshua right up the road from my hometown on the mark with minding his own business one night when a police officer decided it was his night to execute somebody, and while he had no weapon away. See that video. Everybody needs to know his name because there will be accountability in this nation. In the state where I'm from, and my mouth is not going to stop talking. So Lakeisha is, and I know she would want me to say that first, but she's being brave and being with her and welcome. Hello.
I'm not a big speaker, but I'm glad to be here today. Said investigation. They still have an investigation, so nothing's being accomplished. Yeah, and he's not fired. He's on administrative leave. My son is the second person that this cop has killed. Also, he tried to drown another guy in Galveston. Yes, it's on the it's on video. His name is Reggie Davis, and he beat him up and tried to drown him. And everything is on film. He resigned from Galveston and went straight to Lamarck, Texas, and got a job. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Josh's son.
If his son still had a father, if his daughter still had a father, but if we can't get what real justice is for that case, we want accountability. That's the closest thing to justice we can get. We want accountability in the court system, criminal and civil, and we want him fired. So we're going to stay on the wall until that happens. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. Can I do Bun B first?
Just a point of personal privilege, we want to acknowledge the mother of the movement here in Houston, Texas. In 2008, Houston, Trey, you remember, Bumby, you remember, there was a young man named Robbie Tolan who was the son of the great baseball player Bobby Tolan, and in his driveway in Bel Air, Texas, the police shot him while his mother and father came running out of their house in their nightgown, in their underwear, telling the police that this is our house, that is our car, and that is our son. And he still shot Robbie Tolan ending his professional baseball career. But this black woman here, she may be short in stature, but boy, she's a big woman. This powerful woman, Monique, this woman went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And for the first time Floyd. It opened the door for Breonna Taylor. It opened the door for all those black people who have been killed. And so I can never say enough about Houston's Mother of the Movement, Miriam Tolan.
Hello. When the officer who shot Robbie, he was indicted, but he was not convicted. And today, when he shot him, he was a sergeant, and now he's been promoted. He's a lieutenant. And that is just disgusting. And that is why I am standing with Pamela Turner's family, because De La Cruz, he's got to go. We want him fired, and we need to work hard on all these cases to get these people fired and convicted so that they cannot continue to go from one jurisdiction to another and continue killing our black men and women. I've gotten to know Chelsea very well, and I'll be there. I'll be in court with you. I will be supporting you, and I'll be holding your hand. And they're right. When we went to trial, the officers, they would be there just in numbers, in record numbers, and they'd get there early. So I'm telling you now, on May 25th, we're going to go to court. We're going to go to trial with this family. We're going to fill the hallways, but we're going to get there early. Okay? When they open the courthouse doors, you want to be there because you want to fill the court. They play a lot of games. And of course, I wouldn't know that had I not gone through it. But I'll be there to let her know, yeah, the police officers sit near the jury box because they want to intimidate the jurors. But we're going to be there. We did not have this kind of support. My son lived, and thank God. But we did not have, the community did not support us. So this is a blessing. So for you to have this kind of support, just know we're going to win. And I love you. Thank you, guys. Show up on the 25th early.
Thank you, Miss Tolan. We love you. Can y'all give her another hand? Y'all know some of the baddest rappers in the game come out of Houston, right? I mean, H-Town is known, really. I mean, it's just also Rans if you're not from H-Town. But one of the reasons that it's like that is because of somebody who's about to come speak next. He's rapper. He's songwriter. He's actor. You do some acting, too? Yeah, see, I read up before I do my introductions now. But he's also activist. He cares about us. Can y'all give a hand for Bun B?
Thank you, sister. Give glory to God. I'm not going to really talk long. I came here to support my sisters. I didn't come here to really talk. I came here to make sure my sisters felt safe, protected, you're supported up here. But I do want to say to Pam's daughter and her sister, we love you. We pray for you. I don't think y'all realize how much strength it takes for the family to be here today. You know, while we talk about this is a very real thing. These people are still actively grieving, you know. So to the Taylor family representative, to the Feast family representatives, to the Jefferson family representative, to all the families here who have dealt with loss in their life at the hands of the police, we pray for you. We stand with you. We love you. We want to love on you. And we are here to fight for you and with you. I want to tell my sister Tez, I'm sorry, I'm not a soldier, I'm a general. And I got a battalion of real niggas ready to ride. I stand in arms with my brother Trader Truth. I've never been more proud of this brother than I am. He does not get enough credit for not just standing on the front lines, not just being active, not just fighting, but for the way he cares about his people. This man has a very deep love for his people. And he will stop at nothing. I've seen him work himself to where he passes out. We got to drop him off at the hospital. And all he can do is say, man, I got to get out of here because I got to get back out there. We need to support brothers like Trey the Truth, not just by their music, but pray for this brother. This brother is constantly in harm's way. Don't get it twisted. The drones is following him too, because he right there with Tamika and my son and Ben Crump. Everywhere you see these things happening, he ain't going to be on the mic. He ain't going to be in front of the camera. But if you look, he's the man standing behind the man, as they say. And I'm the man standing behind the man, standing behind the man. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here, there, and everywhere we need to be until we get accountability and as close to justice as we can get. I love my people too much to do any less. And as a representative of Relief Gang, a representative of the NAACP, and a representative of my people, I love y'all. I pray for y'all. I pray with y'all. And I want the world to know, Black Lives Matter. Black women lives matter. Santos got to go. De La Cruz got to go. You know what I'm saying? And hey, say her name. Come on, say her name. Say it so the drug can hear. We ain't going nowhere, so get used to us.
Okay, we rounding our first Baptist close, y'all. There's just a couple left. I'm bringing now Deanna LaFay. She is the Texas State Coordinator for Black Voters Matter Fund, because we don't want you to just come here and be excited. We want action items, things that we can leave here and do across the board. Just talk to you about what they do. Give 2 minutes, and then we'll move on with the program. Thank you.
Hey everyone, so Black Voters Matter is an organization that is doing work in 15 states across the country. In a lot of those states there are things that similar to the George Floyd Act that are being proposed. And I wrote down a few things about ways that the George Floyd Act and also some reforms related to criminal or mental health could change the outcome for folks that are in similar situations like Pamela Turner. This vicious cycle of poverty, crime, and trauma that we see has plagued our communities for generations. These intentional and persistent seeds of aggression have sucked the life out of our communities and make hope feel elusive. Our system failed Pam on several levels, and it's our responsibility to stand in proxy for her and all those who've lost their lives at the hand of officers who swore to protect and the George Floyd Act and reallocation of police budgets could work to prevent further tragedies. By investing in mental health services, we eliminate unnecessary police interactions and identify ways to de-escalate crisis situations. Equally as important, police accountability could boost trust in the criminal justice system that has historically stripped folks of their dignity. For instance, one of the bills associated with the act, the George Floyd Act, mandates that bystander officers intervene when their partners use excessive force. Continuing to push for this type of systematic reform would serve as ammunition to expose the deeper effects of racism, classism, and fascism that lurk behind the shadows. Now is the time for us to join in solidarity with those suffering across the nation, knowing that at any moment the next victim could be someone else we love. Our voice guides our vote, and electoral power creates the pressure needed to implement new policy. This work never gets easy, but in the words of the great Martin Luther King Jr., injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, which is why Black Voters Matter thinks it's so important to show up for folks like, folks that are in rural communities that we may never hear about your stories, but we appreciate you for welcoming us into your community and for standing up for every case of police brutality in our state and across our nation.
Thank you. Y'all give her a hand. Thank you so much. I want to thank the founders of Black Voters Matter, Latasha and Cliff. They are doing such great work for us. So, and you know what? Power is not right. If you don't vote, don't boo. All right, I got another one coming that doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm going to give him a quick one anyway. The Bishop, Reverend James Dixon. He is the pastor of Community of Faith, and he is the president of the Houston chapter of the NAACP. He's on the ground doing work day in, day out in our community. Welcome, Reverend Dixon.
Thank you. Give it up for our sister Monique. Come on. All these our powerful sister Taz, come on, give it. Straight shot, no chaser. I am honored to be here. A lot of powerful things have already been said. I want to thank Ben Crump. I want to thank Ben Crump, who is Black America's Attorney General. Thank you. Come on, let's give it up for Ben Crump. To Trey the Truth, give it up for Trey, and Bombi and all the rest of us. Let me say this very quickly because time is far spent. For those of you from Houston, not from this area, you need to know where you are. You need to understand, as Mr. Trump said, it's not the apple. And it ain't just a tree, it's the ground. It's the soil. If you want to fix this, you got to go all the way to the soil. Because you got to understand that racism continues because of what's in the soil. This ground has bred racists for generations. Who here knows that this same city fought back against changing the name of Robert E. Lee High School? Who understands that the school's name is still Robert E. Lee, named after a Confederate general? Who knows that? You got to understand that they train you to be racist here. Who knows that a few miles from here is a lake that was called Negro Head Lake, that was called Nigger Head Lake, until a couple of months ago, when the Houston NAACP, working with Commissioner Rodney Ellis and working with our elected officials in Houston, confronted the Baytown elected officials to finally change the name of Negro Head Lake. That used to be Nigger Head Lake. You got to know where you are. And you got to also know why a lot of blacks in Baytown are not out here today. You got to understand that there is a level of fear that's inbred generationally into the hearts and psyches of black people, because white people have been in control and manipulating their minds for decades and decades. This is racist territory. I grew up in Houston, and we were taught, don't get caught in Baytown, especially as the sun goes down. You got to know where you are. This is KKK territory. And what was said earlier about the KKK infiltrated police departments, we understand that history in America. So the reality is, Pamela Turner is a victim of a systematic system that's been racist for years, where white people and others felt it's not a crime to kill and to name black people, including unarmed black women. So I say as I go to my seat, we've got to make sure that we don't just have a rally. We got to have a movement. They're trying to take our right to vote on one hand and shoot us down on the other hand. But the NAACP, with Black Voters Matter, with National Action Network, with Until Justice, and every other organization standing united, we are the voice of justice, cannot be denied. Let me leave you with this. When Pamela Turner's trial comes, we're going to do two things. One, on the night of the 24th, we're going to spend the night outside the courthouse with a prayer vigil. We're going to have prayer warriors all night praying before the courthouses. The doors open, prayer warriors will go in. Standing for justice, demanding Turner. And for those pastors on the inside, that won't stand up on the outside, cruise ship churches are over. It's time for battleship churches. Because cruise ships go where there's no trouble. Battleships go where there's a crisis. Cruise ships entertain people. Battleships empower people. Cruise ships will sail you out. But battleships cannot be bought. And so whatever your name is, Baptist, white, Presbyterian, if you a preacher in the inside, but your anointing won't work on the outside, you are artificial. And stop going to these churches that won't show up when Pamela Turner gets shot down, when Bianca Taylor gets shot down. Stop putting your damn offering in baskets where people won't come to your rescue. It's time for a revolution. And that's what's happening right now in Baytown, Texas. That's what's happening in America. Thank you, Ben Crump. No more cruise ships. It's time for battleships. No more cruise ships. It's time for battleships. No more cruise ships. It's time for battleships. No more cruise ships. So you know what that means? Y'all know what that means when you go out there and you sleep overnight to pray that night. Bring your Bible and your sword. That's what that means. The man that they have asked me to bring up to you is someone that has been very dear in my life. And if you ever heard me speak, I steal a lot of my stuff from him. So when you hear this man, he is a very powerful man of God. I respect him. I don't respect a lot of people. So put your hands together for the Southwest. Of the American my brother, my dear friends, like they call him Brother Halim. I call him Minister Robert because that's how I met him. Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, I bear witness there is but one God, the Creator of all things, the revealer of all truths, the sender of all prophets, messengers, and warners. My beloved brothers and sisters, we've been out here a while. I won't be long, but I promise to be strong. Brother Ben, thank you for all that you do. And on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, brother, I want to thank you and Brother Lee and Sister Monique. And I don't know what they're going to show a shot, whatever. But there's a saying, and this now, listening to all of these families applies to all of the families. There's a saying that we picked up in the death penalty abolition movement here in Texas, that in Texas, and now I'll say for America, it's better to be rich and guilty than to be poor and innocent. You want to repeat that again? In America, it's better to be rich and guilty than to be poor and innocent. My brothers and sisters, don't anybody think that we don't believe in Jesus. But there's a difference. Are you talking about the prince? Are you talking about the priest? Or are you talking about Jesus the Christ? There's a difference, you know. There's a servant that died and sacrificed his life so that you and I could be free. But then there's the one that is seen that he's slain from the foundation of the earth. And when you look in the book of Revelation, you see him coming up to the throne. And on the throne was one sitting on the throne holding a book in his hand. Around it was 24 elders, and none of them were worthy to read the book. The Lamb came and took the book out of his hand, and when he took the book out of his hand and he unleashed the seals that Daniel sealed up, then what was loosed in heaven was loosed on earth. Now, get it straight in your mind that I'm not the voice of God in your midst. I just represent him. And what I'm here to say to Texas and to the United States is that the blood of Pam Turner and every one of these families that are soaking up the soil of America, there's a price to pay. Now you may think you can get justice from the Supreme Court. I'll let you go on and do what you got to do. You may think that you're going to get justice in the Harris County Court. I'll let you do what you got to do. And I'm going to walk with you, and I'm going to talk with you. But at a certain point in time, you're going to have to go to the real Supreme Court. See, you think you read the Bible, you read the Quran, and you say God loved the children of Israel enough to come and visit Egypt when he saw them moaning and groaning, but God is a racist and he wouldn't come for you? You say that God would come and be in the fiery furnace or in the furnace with the Hebrew boys, but God is a racist and he wouldn't come for you? You think God would judge Egypt? God would judge Sodom and Gomorrah? God would judge Babylon? God would judge Rome? And you don't think that America will be judged? You don't think that after 465 years of 310 years of chattel slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow, 50 years of trickle-down economics, you don't think that God will not answer your prayers? You don't think that there's not a price to pay for all of those who died in the Middle Passage, for those who worked from can't see morning to can't see evening? You think that there's not a price to pay? You believe in God, but you don't think God would not judge this nation that you have served? You bled, died, and fought in every war that there's been. You fought for this country. You were the first to die in the Boston Massacre. You fought, 5,000 of us died in the Revolutionary War. We fought in the Civil War. We fought in the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II. Now, we went over to the desert. We fought all of his enemies for him. And you think God will fight for you? Brothers and sisters, it's either justice or else. Justice or else. So, I say to you, when you get down on your knees, you better be ready to make your exodus. Moses is not an integrationist. Moses came to set you free. God came to set you free. God's coming is after the workings of Satan. Satan will do all of it he can. He put food deserts. We're in food deserts. You're not hearing me. We live in bad housing. You're not hearing me. Our school systems are failing us. You're not fooling me. The reason why we're dying from because we have health care disparities. Y'all don't want to listen to me. Okay. So I say to you, long after the cameras are gone, and even before the cameras were here, when the Floyd family, Miss Sissy, who is the Floyd family's mother, had a stroke, there was a restaurant that we had from the street, and they asked me to go pray with Miss Sissy. I didn't know who she was. I just prayed for her, and she promised that when she got well, she would come and visit the mosque, which she did with Big George. So what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, is this. I spoke truth to power. There's a price to pay. But there's also responsibility for us who are victims. Hear what I'm saying? We're not going to be victims. We're going to be victors. We're going to turn our pain into power. Y'all not hearing me? You have to have operational unity. I am a lifetime member of the NAACP. Don't get it twisted. They fought for me before I knew what a fight was all about. I worked with Bishop Dixon in the NAACP. I do what I do, he does what he does, but we work together. It's called operational unity. Don't let this microphone, no television cameras, anything become a narcotic where you get addicted to it, and then you don't want to, you don't want to give it up. It ain't about the camera. It's not about the microphone. It's about working together, and it's the work you do in the dark that when it comes to light. So, brothers and sisters, I thank Allah for you. On behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I say this to you. Justice is a prerequisite of life. Black woman, and I'll... Black woman, let me tell you why your life matters. In teaching the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the first act of God was, after his self-creation, was not sun, not moon, not stars. The first act of his creation was you, black woman. And through your womb, all life has come. That's why you're so valuable. And we're taught that the woman must be honored, respected, and protected. Before a baby knows anything about Jesus, before a baby knows anything about Allah, before they know anything about NAACP, Ben Crump, or any of us, that baby's mama. You're the first teacher, you're the first nurse, you're the first doctor. You are God's representative to that child. And you raise these children, respectful generation. This is not a turn up generation. And if you keep killing us, they're willing to give their life right now. And maybe you want to pick a leader to go back to Egypt, you go to hell on. For me, I'm with the Joshua generation. And this is what we say. Hey, don't tell them pull their pants up. Lift their minds and their pants will follow. But if you got to pull your pants up, pull them up because you don't want to get your pants wet when you cross the Jordan River and we go into the promised land. So come on, brothers and sisters, stand up for Pam Turner. Stand up for those families that suffer. Stand up for your own black self, because who's next? You might be next, and then we'll be marching for you. Thank you for listening. May Allah bless you as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.
If you can bear with us just a couple of more minutes, I know Trey wants to organize you guys to come pay homage across the street. Whoever has a white Lexus, you're blocking in someone, and they're needing you to move if you can, please. Before we get out of here, and thank you, Attorney Crump, for wanting to make sure that my brother Dominique Alexander had a moment to at least address you guys. It's important that you know who's organizing in your city and who's doing what. I appreciated Dominique this week sending me a text saying, sis, where do I need to be?
Amen. I
never have to call and ask him, hey, we doing something, we trying to get together. He always proactively reaches out to say, hey, where can I be? And when Bishop was talking about cruise ships and battleships, Dominique comes from the great Pastor Freddie Haynes, the only one that was with, well, I won't say the only one, because there was a couple of them that called out that racism in America comment. But Pastor Freddie Haynes ain't scared either. So we got a couple of bishops in Texas that's willing to stand up. And this is one, the Reverend, correct? Dominique Alexander, my homeboy, my homie. Come talk to him for a second.
Come on, Nick.
Y'all, I'm gonna be very brief, y'all. It's always hard when you're coming after a man that speaks from a message from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan to come after him. But it's always good to be somewhere with my sister Teslin, y'all. Teslin has been a guardian angel for me in the movement. When we go out and protest for these names and we become these leaders in our communities, sometimes we don't know how to deal with these media people and different things of that nature. And I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, there was this crazy lady that called my phone and she said, brother, you need me to help you. You need me to do whatever it is. And I said, sister, whatever I'm doing right now, I need you, right? So I just want y'all to salute what I call the Amelia Bunton Robinson of our generation right now. You know what I'm saying? Amelia Bunton Robinson was known for her sacrifice. She gave the office so that the people can stand in Selma, so the people can organize in her home. She gave that sacrifice, and yet we are here. We are here for Pamela Turner and so many other people. And yet at the end of the day, I'm just telling y'all there is a thing called the state legislature that is going on right now. There are laws that are being crafted here in the state of Texas. I know many people said about federal government, but right now the state of Texas is doing all that it can to make sure that it strips you of your voting right, strips you of your maternal health, strips you of everything you have, every name you have, and is repeatedly telling us that our lives don't matter. Right now, the George Floyd Act for Texas is being held in the state Senate. And guess what? It ain't being held. It's being held because some Democrats that said they are fighting for us are not speaking up loud enough so that it can get out of the state of Texas. So I just want you to know when they return back to their districts that you hold them accountable because they're not doing enough. All right? So at the end of the day, I want to salute Ben Crump. I want to salute the families who are out here, y'all, because at the end of the day, I try to come out of Dallas as many times as I can, y'all, because, you know, they like to lock me up all the time. So I have to travel a lot, but I don't care because the people in Dallas Police Department, when they get their checks every time because of our advocacy, every time they get a pay stub, it says 1400 Botham Jub Boulevard now. So they can be mad. They can be mad all they want because we're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on fighting and we're not going to give up. And I say this last but not least. You don't need a new hashtag to be outraged. I told everybody I'm tired of putting hashtag in front of somebody's name, somebody's baby's name. I'm tired of consoling another family, inheriting another family in this movement. I still feel the pain of Tamir Rice. I still feel the pain of Sandra Bland. You don't need a new hashtag. You don't need NBC5, Fox Sports, CNN to be able to get you outraged over black lives. There are enough hashtags to be outraged still. And until we get justice, you don't give up. Thank y'all.
We made it. We're bringing back Attorney Ben Crump and the Turner family. But before I do, I want to say first, because this is about what? Action, right, y'all? Yes. There are voter registration people here now. Right. If you are not registered to vote, sign up now. Yes. Do not think that you are unable to vote because you on paper, because you've been in, because you just got out. They can explain to you safely what you are able to do so you can find out about your voter eligibility. So please, hold them up one more time, y'all. Hold them up one more time.
We don't have a constitutional right to vote in state elections. You all don't know the law. You have a federal constitutional law to vote in federal election. State election is state. You got to have uniform citizenship. And I'm the one that's taking it. You got these white boys waiting on Harvard and Yale. You have no leadership in the legal community.
And he's right about it. Can y'all give him a hand? Thank you to our elders. We appreciate all of them for everything that they've done and everything they're still doing. I want to acknowledge Black Voters Matter. If you're looking for organizations to support, you know, there's some people that send their prayers, send their love, maybe send a few dollars. Then there are other people who show up. Black Voters Matter shows up in your community. Equal Justice Now shows up in your community. Where is Roland Martin?
Roland!
Roland Martin shows up in your community. Support Roland Martin Unfiltered. He's on Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 5 to 7 p.m. Central. That's news for us, y'all. Yeah. I'm on there every Wednesday. If you just want to come say hi, say something in the chat. But you can support him at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. He moved his entire show and his entire team here to cover this in his hometown.
Thank you, Roland.
Because it matters. So thank you, Roland. Thank you, Roland Martin Unfiltered. Last, I want to thank Attorney Benjamin L. Crump. Can y'all give a hand for Attorney Crump? That really ain't it. Can you give a hand, please?
general.
Okay, I don't think he wants that job, Bishop.
He
We
got
ain't
it.
gonna give him no job he
He
don't
got
want.
He got it.
Listen, his schedule is insane because he's fighting every day for us. I see the inside of it. Don't believe the hype. Just like what Tamika said. They try to say whatever they can say to tear our brothers down who are actually doing something good. Don't let it happen with him. Because I got to tell you, the only reason I have this mic today is because a secure enough black man with a platform passed it to black women. Hey! That's the only way. You ain't got a platform if you're scared to share it. And that's so many of us out here who get a mic and don't want to pass it, don't want to drop it, don't want to do nothing but hold it, and have long since had nothing to say. That's not him. He passed the women the mic today so that we could fight for ourselves. And Attorney Trump, I'm grateful. I'm done, y'all. I love y'all. See you next time.
Y'all give it up for Monique. Monique Presley, more time. More time. Y'all give it up for Tesla Figaro. Tell him, Tez. She got a podcast, Straight Shot, No Chaser. And then, before the family address you and thank you from the bottom of their heart, we're going to have Vice President Michelle, the second Vice President of the Houston NAACP, a strong black woman.
Thank you, Attorney Crump. I'm from Imperial Polk County in Central Florida.
Lord.
So you understand why I had this fire in me.
Oh, yes, Lord.
Okay?
Tell 'em.
So I'm from a place much like Baytown.
Oh, my God.
I put roots in Houston, though, and I served the city of Houston proudly along with Bishop Dixon, who is the president of our Houston NAACP. I come to you today as a little girl, a college girl.
for this strong black woman, Professor Michelle. Professor Michelle. Y'all remember her name? Thank you, Queen. As we get to the end here, I want to acknowledge it's always a team effort. Traded Truth, Tamika Mallory, but there's people fighting in the court. Attorney Darrell Washington fighting with us, and this brother from another mother, Attorney Devin Jacob.
Thank you, Ben. I just wanted a moment to just say a few words. I'm humbled, frankly, to be invited among this group of people who have lost a lot of people who should not have been lost. My family, brother, we talk late at night often about this case and what happened. The reason I like working with Ben is because Ben has never forgotten that he puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like you and me. Amen. And he's always had about him that he's answering to a higher calling. And that's why I'm here too, because we are all brothers and sisters, and this is really about right and wrong. This is not about man's law, but God's law. Amen. And the irony in this is that the very laws that I used to sue De La Cruz and the city used to say that it was only for white men with land who were people. That's the Constitution. And we can't forget that. Women did not have a right to vote when the Constitution was passed. White men were the only ones who mattered when the Constitution was passed. And yet it's that very document now, because right prevailed, that we can now sue the officer who killed Pamela Turner.
Educate them, Devin.
And so why do I bring up the law? And that's because why isn't De La Cruz fired? Because you'll hear about man's law, contract law. They say, well, the union agreement says we can't fire him. Well, it's the union agreement that you negotiated at arm's length and agreed to that says you can't fire him. So that's wrong. You fire the man and you stand for something. That shows the tree that we heard about, the policy that we heard about earlier. That's what needs to happen. I'm a former police officer, and I will tell you, I am disgusted and embarrassed that a public entity would make other officers who are doing the right thing work alongside somebody who did the wrong thing. Talk about respect. That's disrespect to police officers who are doing the right thing. And that's disrespect to everybody here who has a right to feel safe in their communities. Pamela Turner was looking up at her killer when she was shot. There could be no more demeaning thing than laying on your stomach looking up at the person who takes your life while you're on the ground. We will fight and we will win.
A great lawyer from Pennsylvania who came all the way down here. Fire De La Cruz! Fire De La Cruz! Fire De La Cruz! And why do we need to fire him? We don't need to say no more. Just look at the video. Say no more. 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 Look at the video. And as I get ready to bring Chelsea and Antoinette up just to say thank you, because you can only imagine, as Attorney Chris O'Neill has continued to remind me, yeah, we're within a rock's throw of where her mother was executed, Marion told me.
Right across the street.
Vice President Michelle, I mean literally, right across the street. Said on her back, 5 times he shoots, hitting her in the face, in the chest, and in the stomach. and it's such a difficult thing. So as I get ready to bring them up, I also, right here in Texas, not too far, we dealing with Joshua Feast, right, Monique? And Santos got to go. Santos got to go. Santos got to go. Hey, we want justice all over Texas. We want the Jefferson family to make sure that we go to Fort Worth to stand with that Queens family. Then we're going to go to right back to Lamarck, Texas, where Jacob Blake Sr., Joshua Feast was running away, and Brandon Williams, that coward, shot him in the back. And the reason I say coward, y'all remember we were little boys and girls, and they taught us about cowboys. They said the most cowardly thing to do, Trader Truth, was to shoot a man in the back. Well, anytime a police shoot a black man in the back, we should go back to when we were little boys and little girls and call them a coward. And so, without further ado, the trial is not on the 25th. They're picking a trial date on the 25th, which is George Floyd's anniversary. So, Bishop, they're going to be picking a trial date. But they promised us they're not delaying from the prosecutor's office. It's the defendant who's trying to get a continuance. So we got to show up and say, no, justice delayed is justice denied. Y'all know how hard this is for this daughter. Philonise Floyd talked about how hard it is for a brother to lose a brother. Roland Martin is equally hard, if not more difficult, for a child to lose their mother. Tears in such an unspeakable manner. And y'all know this happened the day after her birthday. So you know what every birthday is like for her for the rest of her life. So we got to wrap our arms around Chelsea. We got to always be here for Chelsea so she know that she's not by herself. So, y'all, she wants to thank Trader Truth, Bishop Dixon, Until Freedom, Monique Presley, Tesla Figaro, everybody, NAACP, Reverend Al Sharpton, the National Action Network, who came to preach the eulogy for her mother. She thanks Breonna's family, Queen Jefferson's family. She thanks Joshua Feast's family. She thanks everybody. I try to say everybody, so if she can't get to those things, y'all just blame her head, not her heart, because she's really grateful to everybody. Everybody, y'all. Y'all, give it up for Chelsea Rubin, the legacy of Pamela Turner.
Can't hear me, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my message across, and that's that. But I just want to thank everybody that came out. It's very hard to do this here today across from where my mother was murdered, but I got to do it, and I just thank everyone for the support, because I need it, my family needs it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna try to act like this is not hard, like it don't hurt, like I could just come out here and do this. No, I can't. All day yesterday, I'm supposed to be celebrating, I'm 24, guys. I'm 24. And this is, this is what I gotta do for the rest of my life. And, I'm coming to terms with it. I'm starting to be okay with it, because no matter what, I know she would do it for me.
Amen.
So, it's a lot of organizations, a lot of people who have come out here to show their helping hand today. And I'm most likely not going to remember them all. Ben did a great job, because I'm not going to remember them all. But to all the families who came, I do love you guys, and I thank you all for your support. Bree's aunt, Jacob's father, Tatiana's sisters. George Floyd's brother, Philonise, he did see me yesterday, y'all. You guys, he told me happy birthday. We just ran into each other. It wasn't even something that was planned. But to everyone that is here, standing behind us, I want y'all to know it's deeply appreciated.
Oh, y'all using my shot in the audio?
That comes from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't say it no other way. So thank y'all.
And y'all, we're gonna hear from Pam Turner's sister, Antoinette James.
Hey, this Corey, are y'all using my shot in the
Hello,
audio?
thank you all. I just want to thank everybody that came out and supported us. Today marked the 24 months since Pam was executed. It's really hard for me to stand here in this area because not just because of the 24 months that's, since she's been gone, but in 1993 when she graduated, that's where I was living in this apartment complex back here, and it was a different name, and that's where she lived. It was the first apartment that she lived in, and it was the last apartment that she lived in.
My Lord.
And it's very emotional and heartbreaking for me. And I just want to share one other thing. I did get an opportunity to go. We went to one of the city town meetings, and they was talking about how Baytown is becoming a tourist attraction area. It would never be a tourist attraction because it's too much terroristic stuff going on around here.
Yeah.
And I hope so. And again, I just want to say, like my niece said, we thank you all. I don't know everybody that's come out. I'm still up in my emotions, but I want to thank everybody. Attorney Ben Crum, Attorney Devin, and everybody else that put a hand in making this possible. And we just continue to stand with the family and hope that you all stand with us, because on May 13 of 2019, Pam was that Jane Doe. Tomorrow, we could be that Jane or John Doe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
One more thing I want to say is thank you again to my attorneys. He's talking. He's not even listening to me.
I'm sorry. Silky confusing me.
Silky, stop. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Attorney Jacobs. What? You want the mic?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Let her finish, Silky. Take your time. No, yeah.
He doesn't rest, you guys. This man, literally, every chance that he gets, every time I call him, I have to kind of wait a little bit. I wait for his return. I don't expect him to answer every time because I know he's with somebody else. I don't know who, I don't know where, but he's somebody. He's with somebody somewhere, and he does his job good. So I thank you so much for taking on our case and fighting for us the way that you do. And we know that you have our best interests at heart. So thank you.
And we will get justice for your mama. We won't sleep. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Thank you, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, for being with this family. Silky's going to say something, and then we're going to thank Trader Truth for the sound system and the movement.
I've been with Chelsea and Archie since the night that her mother died. But yesterday was her birthday, and I want y'all to help me sing happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chelsea. Happy birthday to you.
When we give Arthur Reed the mic, we don't know what we're going to get. So, Mr. Blake, Bianca, everybody, thank you. As I said, Bianca. So, y'all, we're going to have closing prayer for no more than 1 minute. Where's Trader Truth? Trader Truth. Y'all give him another round of applause for him giving his sound system, his truck, and helping to organize everything. When you go to the trial, if you got any kind of T-shirts, anything on, They won't let you come into the courtroom. So you can't have Pam Turner. You can't have Black Lives Matter. You can't have anything. You have to put a suit on something or they will turn you away at the courthouse. All right, closing prayer.
Let us bow our head, please, and open your eyes. And the Lord said, write the vision and write it down on stone so everybody will know the vision is yet for an appointed time, and in the end it will come. It may be slow. Wait on it. Be patient. Jesus is coming again. Those who are hardy, racist, and who do things bad, they will die. But the just shall live by his peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Red. Anything else? Okay. Silky, anything else? All right. Thank y'all. Justice for Pam Turner. 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 We'll have updates on May 25th.
All right, folks, Roland Martin here, and so this rally is just ending. And like I said, a lot of people out here. Robbie Tolan, we had his mother here, of course, that's her right there. Y'all remember, we actually had her on Tom Joyner Morning Show, my TV One show as well. He was shot in Bel Air, Texas by the cops, was paralyzed. That brother there, of course, he's the son of a former Major League Baseball star. He's a baseball player at Prairie View A&M University. So a lot of families have been out here, again, showing their support of the family of Jacob Blake. His father is here as well. And so many other different people, they have been out here, again, showing their support for this family. And that's one of the things that we have seen a lot with these stories that we've covered. Families standing with each other, men and women, fathers and mothers, in a fraternity sorority nobody wants to actually join, and that is black men and women who have been killed at the hands of police. And so that's what was happening out here. And so remember when Ben Crump was on our show more than a month ago, he said they were going to be out here, and I told him Roland Martin Unfiltered will certainly be out here to live stream this event, and that's why we are here. And so people have been coming out. And so the deal is, so the apartment complex across the street, that's where Pamela Turner was shot and killed in May of 2019 by a police officer. And so that's why it's being held in this rally. In this parking lot here, which is a baseball field that are right behind us. And so, like I said, Equal Justice Now out here supporting Until Freedom, Black Voters Matter, NAACP, Nation of Islam. So many organizations have been out here supporting the family. And so it is, of course, it's 3:41 Eastern Standard Time, 2:41 Central Standard Time. We'll see y'all in a couple of hours. We broadcasting Roland Martin Unfiltered live from out here as well, covering the news of the day. So look forward to seeing y'all at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. And so that's it for me right now. We want to thank all of y'all for watching our live stream. Thank you so very much. And so we will see y'all in a couple of hours on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Until then, take care.
Yeah, so he just said.
I got